Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome once again to our Fireside Chat, coming live from NIA headquarters on Roosevelt Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. Tonight, I'm joined by our own Imam, Sheikh Dawood, with us, and we have a very special topic as we kick out almost in January, but we're still very early in the new year, and very topical. This evening, we're talking about the new year, the new you, and how to reinvent yourself. So, very interesting topic tonight for all of us to really think about the new year and what it means for us and how we reinvent ourselves. So with that, I turn to you, Sheikh, and the first question to ask is, what does it really mean when you say you're reinventing yourself? What does it mean to reinvent yourself?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It's good to be here to this and address this topic of beginning the new year, especially we start in 2021 after 2020 was such a challenging year. We started now 2021, so there's a lot of hope and aspirations and expectations.
Yep.
For this 2021, hoping that it will be much better than 2020. But one at this time is important in terms of reinventing oneself. Means how could you adapt and apply yourself to get better results this year than you did before. And so for such you need to have a clear idea of what you want to achieve. And so you must, just like how you focus your lens, you have to focus on your target of what you want to achieve. So, because if you're not focused and you're here and there and there, you're not going to be able to achieve anything because you got too much stuff. So you have to focus on it. So you'll be clear on what you need, and then you're in planning for what you want to achieve. That's the second step. Knowing what you want and planning for it so that you learn how to prioritize. You take the necessary things that you need to do and leave the things that is just going to take you, waste your time or your energy. So there's the second step, planning and prioritizing what you need to go. And the third step is execution. If you as they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But if you plan and then you do not execute your planning was a waste of time. So you have to execute. You have to go through. You have to do it. Many people have an idea. They want to do this. They want to do that. But they don't take the necessary steps.
Why is that? Why sometimes, we have things we want to do. We have these plans. We know we can do it. But why doesn't it get done?
I guess sometimes, it's because people don't really, as I said, in terms of the planning and the prioritizing of of what they want to achieve. And they're not wholehearted in it. They have a hope, but they don't have the energy to produce. And you got to have it both ways. You have to have aspirations. Yes, your aspirations of what you want to achieve, but your aspiration must always be tempered with hope. You want to achieve it, so hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you can do it. So you make the necessary step, because this is how that's how you put trust in Allah. Trust in Allah means that you do your best and leave the rest to Allah. But it's not
leave all.
Not leaving everything in the hands of Allah. I hope that you can start one day getting up and praying or doing whatever it is you set out to do, that it can just happen just like that. No, you got to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally and everything to actually go about doing it.
How important is this to kind of, when you say plan, some people not sure what plan means. Like, you mean that we should be thinking about the year ahead of us and kind of think what we want to accomplish? Should it be the month in front of us, today? Like, when you talk about plan, what was the right way to think about plan?
The planning, the steps in it. First of all, F at the for the beginning of the year, you said, I want to memorize this surah, or I want to learn to read Quran, or I want to achieve this job, or I need, whatever it is, whatever is the main goal that you set. You have to look at the steps to get there. What are the steps to get there? Because it's not going to happen overnight. So you're looking down the road, you know, to achieve it. At the end of this year, I want to achieve it. I want to be doing this on a regular basis. I want to have an exercise program going. I want to, whatever it is that you set for yourself as goals, you must have some steps leading to it and follow those particular steps. Because if you don't have a part of your plan is not in terms of steps or stages for you to go forward with it, and you're just hoping that one day you're just going to get up and start running every day for 1 hour, you're going to kill yourself. Because you're not going to achieve it. Because the first day you run, you're going to fall down because you really exercise. You don't really develop an exercise plan to strengthen your body to achieve, and you don't start. You're not going to run a mile if you've never been running all the time. Just get up and run a mile just like that. You know, next morning you're not going to be able to walk. So you have to gradually set it. You got by the next 6 months, I want to be running a mile. You got to start with exercising. You have to start strengthening your muscles. You got to, you know, doing the thing that's going to prepare it. So you have to have the steps, the baby steps that leads towards achieving the big one.
How was that? So, someone said when I told them, you need to plan ahead and have good long-term plans and short-term plans. They said, but the Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith that, you know, you should live like a wayfarer, like a traveler. You wake up in the morning, you should think you're not going to live tonight. And when you go to bed tonight, you don't think you're going to live tomorrow morning. So if you live like that, why worry about, you know, the whole year and everything else in front of you?
Yeah, but the hadith, I think many people misunderstand the whole hadith that yes, you live in the world like a wayfarer, and the report of the hadith, Abdullah, who reported the hadith, this was his take on it, that if you get up in the morning, don't look for the evening, and if you're in the evening, don't look for the morning. That was his take on it. But here, I mean, the hadith is talking about not becoming so attached to things that you can't move forward, or you just gather it. People become so attached to things that they gather stuff, and they really don't prepare for the life ahead.
Which is the most important thing.
Which is the most important life.
Right.
Right? So you have to utilize time from this life while you're eating and drinking and enjoying yourself and having, you know, and enjoying the favors that Allah give you, because Allah said, which are the favors of your Lord you deny. So you enjoy the bounties of the Lord in this dunya. But you have to prepare yourself for the life that is forever, which is in the next life. So you have to take the necessary steps. But if you become so enamored by the things of this life, then you don't prepare for the next one. So that is what is meant. This dunya, this life is not the permanent life. There's no permanency to this life. It's just transitory. That's what the hadith is trying to tell you. This life is transitory. So don't live like your permanent residents in this world. There's nobody permanent residents in this world. Everybody's temporary resident, and then you move on. The real life is the next life. So you have to live like you're not like a permanent resident. You got to live like a visitor. So you don't spend, so you get so settled, and then you're not really looking forward and preparing for next. And that's basically what the hadith is trying to say.
But sometimes, how do you keep that focus? Because sometimes it's easy, while enjoying the bounties of this world, to lose focus of the ultimate goal, like you just said, is the hereafter. How do you try to always make sure you're getting back onto that focus? Because, you know, you're busy with work, this, that, and you lose focus, like you just said, trying to enjoy the bounty. How do you keep getting back to that focus in front of you?
This is where you have to keep checking yourself always. That's like when you set a goal, you start off always with a good intention. And you start off with a good intention. But you should always check yourself. Like, for instance, like as we talk about the goals you want to fulfill for the year. You start off and you might start off good. You know, your goal is to read Quran 10 minutes of Quran or 15 minutes of Quran every day. And you might start off doing good, you know. But then life kicks in, right? Life kicks in with its challenges and changes and turns and stuff like that, you know. And then it becomes hard, you know, you find it's challenging to get 15 minutes or 20 minutes because you get so busy with whatever other is because with life. So this is where you have to keep checking yourself. Do you know, during you start the middle, you know, God.
Do you recommend that when you said check yourself, is there things in the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam or that you recommend people do? Like, you know, some people say find time to meditate, find time.
Yeah.
Some people say once a week step aside. Some people like to do it Sunday night. Some people like to do the first thing in the morning. Do you recommend certain things where you can step aside, take a break, and kind of do that? Is there any way or suggestions?
There's a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the intelligent person who is not overcome, the intelligent person, he sets aside his phases or stages in his life. You know, time, sa'at, as the Prophet said. Sa'at means a period of time. So he has a period of time when he's going to pray. He has a period of time when he's going to fast. A period of time when he's going to play with his kids. A period of time when he's going to exercise himself. A period of time when he's going to just relax and do nothing and just enjoy himself. There's a period of time when he's going to work hard. You have to break your life up into these periods so that your life does not become monotonous. Right? So you have to look at all these different, you know, and this has to be how your life is, because very often people make their life very routine, right? And as a Muslim, we should never make our life routine, right? Because life is dynamic. And when you make it routine, when you make your life routine, after a while you start to get bored. It becomes tedious. Even being a Muslim and you practicing, you know, and you pray and stuff, and you make your practice of Islam a kind of routine. It becomes tedious after a while. You know, you want to skip stuff because, you know, it's boring. So you have to make it always interesting, right? Because Islam is interesting. It's a deen, this deen of Islam is interesting. It is inspiring, right? Because it is about life. It is about living. And life is dynamic. And if you are not ready to be dynamic in the changes of life and adjust, you know, and you just let things happen.
So you got to mix it up. You
don't just let things happen. You're like people, you know, they'll react if something happened, but other than that, you know, everything just go, you know, like, no. You should always make your life dynamic and make it interesting. Mix it up.
You know, there's a lot of people who say, I struggle to find time to do things, you know, and they feel like they're so busy. Their day is clogged up. They're busy. They're doing a lot of things, but they're not accomplishing a lot of things. There are people who are very busy doing a lot of things in their day. You ask them, oh, I'm busy, man. I was up since this morning. I'm up late. I'm doing this. I'm fixing this. But you ask them at the end of the week, what did you actually accomplish that is significant? Do you find like people clog up their day? Is that a lack of planning, a lack of focus? What is that?
That is both. It's both. A lack of planning and a lack of focus. That people become busy doing nothing. You know, they're not really achieving anything, but they're busy. They're just spinning their wheels. And this is something that we got to be careful of. That people they tell themselves they got to do this and that and that and that and that, and so they fill their head up with so much stuff that they want to do in the day, that they oppress themselves or make themselves depressed. So while they have this, they want to do this and they want to do so much in the day, they start something and never finish it. They start this and then go and they never finish, and they go, so they become a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Well, a lot of things started but nothing
Yeah,
finished.
they start everything, got to start, and then they get distracted, went off and go and start that one. At the end of the day, they got everything half done, and they haven't achieved nothing. So that is no, you're not supposed to do that. You take your step by step, and you do it. So if there's 10 things and you do 5, you have achieved 5 things. But if you try to say, well, I'm going to do 10 things, and it's only how much time you got in a day, so you try to start this and that one and that one and that one. At the end of the day, you got 10 half-done things, is worse than if you had 5 things that are already completed.
Yep. When you think about our young people and advice to young people in terms of how they plan, we talk about how they think about their stages and execution and planning. Any advice you can give?
Young people, young people has a lot of energy, and I think sometimes that, as I said, the energy is wasted on the young, is wasted on the young because they can't fully appreciate it, how to use it. It's old people like us wish we had the energy, the young people, But this is why young people need older people to advise them. They need people, to get advice because we lived it, so you can give advice. And if you're focused, you have to be focused. It is not enough to just get by. Right? And many, you see kids in school, if they have the ability to do an A, but they just they're just passing, right? If they get a B minus,
Okay.
I passed. So but you can do an A. Why you want to B minus?
Yep. No.
But that's the mentality. No, you gotta achieve. To achieve, you have to set the standards high. You might not always achieve the highest, but at least if the higher you aspire, the greater your achievement would be. And so you have to take the necessary steps because if you want to become an engineer, you got to do good in high school. If you want to become an engineer, you got to work at your maths. You got to do your physics.
You can't expect to wait till you get to college to decide you want
can't
to
go to college.
engineering.
But it happens a lot. And this is why you find that in many colleges, they have to do remedial programs. They finish high school, now they have to go on college and do remedial programs to get where they need to go. No, the work that instead of wasting money now on remedial programs, that money could have gone towards your program itself, so you jump into your program and you move ahead. So you got an extra year of that tacked onto your program that doing stuff that you should have done in high school. So no, this is where if your goal is to become an engineer, these are the requirements. These are the things that you gotta be top on your maths. You gotta be top on your physics. These are the things you gotta push yourself to excel in. So that when you get into your program, you can jump right into your program and go forward. You don't have to spend money on remedial stuff.
When you and I were talking earlier before we started, we talked about the importance of achieving little things and building up yourself.
Yeah.
That you talk about find little things you can do, get done, check the box, and then move to a little bigger thing and check the box, so that you grow into the habit of getting things done and achieving.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to people who are listening? The importance of just not shooting for big things.
Yeah.
Like I want to go out and I want to, I want to, make X amount of money, but I can't manage. If somebody give me $1,000, I can't manage. I can't manage $1 million if I get it.
Yeah.
How do I work on achieving and managing smaller things and gradually growing, the importance of that?
Yeah, small steps, taking small steps. That says, every journey begins with the first step. So it's the small steps that you have to train yourself to be successful.
Right. What does that mean? Train yourself to be successful.
By doing small things and achieving it. When you do something and you complete it and you achieve it, then you move on to that and you achieve. If you train yourself to complete, to go all the way and complete something, you know, you get accustomed to completing, you get accustomed to achieving. It builds up a thing in you that you always want to see it through.
You think success breeds success?
Success breeds success. It makes you always want to see see it through, to go through it. It teaches you how to achieve step by step, so that you're not just spinning your wheels. All right. So achieving success in anything, you have to actually be prepared to go through the minor steps, the small steps, you know, before you can achieve the big ones. Because if you just try to jump the big one, you know, you're not going to make it. Halfway, you're going to fall through. As we say, you know, if you don't know, if you working and you get $500 and you don't know to manage $500, how are you going to manage 1,000? You know, so you have to learn how to manage, the nuts and bolts of it, how to manage it. What does it mean to manage? How do you manage your time? And there's one thing that people don't know to manage their time. Time, you should manage it. You should manage your time. You should manage your opportunities. You should everything you should manage. Manage your body, right? You must manage these things, everything, because you want them to last. You want to achieve. You know, so you got to learn to manage your time so that you don't spend or waste your time on stuff. Because otherwise you'll waste a lot of time if you don't manage your time. You need to manage your body to make sure that you remain healthy. Because if you don't manage your body, you're not going to remain healthy. You can get sick now. You can be, you know, running to achieve good health again. So you have to plan, you know, when you say plan, and you take those steps, gradual steps to go about. Because life is not monotonous. Life is not monotonous. It is a challenge. So you have to have a mindset of achieving. You must have that mindset, because otherwise you can feel overwhelmed, and that's what sometimes people they become overwhelmed because they don't have a mindset for challenge. They don't realize that life is like, and life is that the Quran says, "Inna ma'al usri yusra," right? Verily, with ease, this hardship, right? So this is the so it's like a cycle: hardship and ease, you know, challenge, difficulty, ease and difficulty, ease and difficulty. So there's a period of difficulty, there's a period of ease.
I guess then you just gotta train yourself to plan and execute even harder during the difficult part, because you gotta grind through. There's a process of grinding through.
It also during the easy time, because people, when it get easy, they relax. Like the Prophet mentioned in a hadith, it says you want to get near to Allah, you know, and you want to get near to. He says, "Ta'araf ilallah fi rakha." He says, get near to Allah when things going easy with you, and when things get hard, ya'arfaka shidda. He will, when things get difficult, he can recognize you, because when things was going and you felt everything was easy and they up and up for you, you didn't forget Allah because everything going good with you, right? Because that's what happened to people. They only remember Allah, you know, remember God when in difficulty. But when everything running smooth and easy, they forget God. They ain't really care about God, because they don't need God at that time, you know. But we recognize that we always need God, all right? When things are going easy for us and stuff, we remember God, we give him thanks, we praise him for health and this and that and that. You know, so you remember God. Now when we get in trouble, it's easy for God, for us to, call on God now, because we get the habit of calling on God when things are easy. And God not going to recognize us, because when we were easy, we call on him. Now it's hard, of course he can acknowledge us. So that's how it is. With ease and hardship, the same thing. People, when they get things easy, they forget everything. They don't learn anything because they just take it.
In this current environment, just some advice. I know we're not able to come to the masjid. We don't always get to come to the tafsir session on Sunday. people don't get to come to the khutbah, maybe some people circles at the masjid.
Yeah.
How do we plan our own development? Some ideas we can do during this period just to stay focused, right? Like, what are some of the things you can advise us to stay focused during this time, rather than just saying, I mean, again, it'd be easy to make the excuse of like, well, the masjid is not open, you know, there is no class. I'm just gonna. How do you advise us?
Yeah. We should always be prepared to develop. Self-development is part of, is a duty. We should, you know, so we should always be willing to develop ourselves. We develop ourselves by knowledge. And there's absolutely too much opportunities available to learn. So yes, you can't come to the masjid, but you know, you got YouTube, that all these different teachers and sheikhs who are on YouTube with lectures, lots of lectures. There are all kind of courses and programs out there that you can go on and you can learn.
A lot of free now.
A lot of it is free, yes.
Yeah.
The books, you know, make a book your friend. People
Freaking book today, Sheikh.
People don't like books. Matter of fact, and they make it so easy now that, you know, they're doing audio books. So you ain't even got to read it yourself. You have to think and listen. So people really, it's not much excuse for people not to learn. I don't know. How many of you don't know? Why don't you learn? What's the problem? You try to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so I think people take it serious. You have to think about yourself and developing yourself. You should be better today than you were yesterday. You should achieve, if every day you don't achieve or learn something every day, then you stagnant. You become stagnant. So you have to be learning every day. You know, as the saying goes, you know, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. You always have to educate, because there's always, no matter what you do, there's always stuff that you can improve yourself. So you should always make this as a goal, that every day I can achieve something more. I got to achieve something. So, because as I said, life is dynamic. It is not monotonous. So you have to be proactive. You know, don't ever somebody come and show you. You know, you yourself should want to learn something. You yourself want to know this.
Be inquisitive.
Yes.
Be inquisitive.
You yourself want to be better than this. You yourself want to learn to salah better, make the salah better. You have to think about you, because you have to have your own dynamo. Because many people sit down and wait for somebody to push them. But if you got a car, you know, and the car, you know, every time you want to get, you got to push it. You know, somebody might help you here or somebody help you there. But the car's supposed to be carrying you. You're not supposed to be carrying the car. You know, so you know, sooner or later people get tired, man. You know,
they're not coming to the house to push you anymore.
They ain't coming to push you no more. so you got to learn how to push yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be a self-starter, self-motivating. You know, you got to do, this is a very important thing. And if is one thing you can achieve in this year, of being self-motivating to do stuff for yourself, you will achieve a whole lot.
So when we're wrapping up now, when we talk about reinventing ourselves, we talk about mentally being focused.
Yeah.
We talk about setting our priorities, planning, but most importantly, executing. Getting things done, closing them out, and using the means that we have in this environment to really self-motivate ourselves to continue to learn. Anything else before we wrap up that you want to, close with, that share with us that is really important on this topic?
I just say, that we should always have aspirations. We should always have aspirations, and but we should be always realistic in our aspirations, right? We have hope that Allah will help us achieve. Allah will help us achieve stuff. But we should be realistic. Some person, they went in there, they want to do something like climb the mountain.
Yeah.
You never climb, you don't even walk from here to the store.
Yeah.
You don't even walk from here to the store. Or climb the steps, you get tired, and you want to go to the mountain. No, be realistic. All right, be realistic in your aspirations. So you temper your aspirations with hope, and expectations. What you expect to achieve, expectations. You need to temper your expectations with faith, knowing that putting your trust in Allah, that you doing your best, and then you know that Allah can help you out if you put your foot forward. Because if you're not doing anything, don't as the saying goes, God help those who help themselves. You don't do nothing, but you expect God to do everything for you. No, it don't happen. You have to get up, and because Allah don't change the people until they themselves change. So you have to really get up and move with the intention. You got this, me, I want to change, I want to achieve, and then you get up and make a plan. You start to move, and you make the effort, and you call on Allah and depend. Allah wants to get you to, so you achieve. Right? So this is a formula. You just develop the formula.
You gotta keep using it.
You keep
practicing,
and it becomes easy for you after a while.
Yep.
So you learn how to achieve things.
Yep, I think that's important.
Yeah.
If you practice the formula and you keep using it and using it, eventually you found your way how to get it done and how to make it work for you.
Yeah, practice makes perfect.
Yep. So on that note, thank you very much, Sheikh, to kicking off this year on this topic about reinventing ourselves. Some really good pointers tonight that we share with the audience, and I hope everyone at home take the advice. And thank you all for joining us this evening, and we wish you a good evening, and inshallah looking forward to joining us next week, same time at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.